The gut microbiome has become one of the most actively researched areas in medicine over the past 2 decades, and what researchers have uncovered fundamentally changes how we understand the relationship between food and health. The trillions of microorganisms living in the human digestive tract collectively influence digestion, immune system function, inflammation levels, nutrient absorption, and even mood through the gut-brain axis. Fermented foods are among the most direct and practical tools available for supporting the diversity and vitality of that microbial community. What fermentation does. Fermentation is a preservation process in which bacteria and yeast convert carbohydrates and proteins in food into acids, alcohols, and gases. The result is a product with a distinctly tangy, sour, or umami-rich flavor that reflects the metabolic activity of the microorganisms involved. But beyond flavor transformation, fermentation performs something researchers describe as pre-digestion. The beneficial bacteria break down compounds in food before it reaches your digestive system, making nutrients more bioavailable and easier for the body to absorb. This is one of the reasons fermented foods can improve digestive comfort, particularly for people who find certain raw foods harder to tolerate. Not all fermented products deliver meaningful probiotic benefit. Products that undergo heat treatment after fermentation, including most shelf-stable pickles and many commercial yogurts, may have reduced or eliminated live bacterial cultures by the time they reach the consumer. Products with added sugars, artificial flavors, or preservatives can also diminish the health benefits that fermentation provides. Seeking out products with live and active cultures, minimal added ingredients, and in many cases refrigerated storage is the practical way to distinguish genuinely beneficial fermented foods from those that share only the label. Consistency matters more than quantity. A few tablespoons of sauerkraut or kimchi, a cup of yogurt, or a glass of kefir most days of the week is sufficient to provide meaningful support for gut health. Occasional consumption produces minimal lasting impact because the introduced bacteria do not permanently colonize the gut, but require regular reinforcement through continued dietary intake. Plain Greek yogurt and Icelandic skyr are among the most accessible fermented foods available, and a single serving can contain between 10 and 20 billion colony-forming units of probiotic bacteria. Skyr tends to have a slightly higher protein content than Greek yogurt, while maintaining a comparable probiotic profile, making it a particularly satisfying option that supports both gut health and satiety. Both products should be chosen in their plain, unsweetened forms to avoid the added sugars that diminish their benefits and are prevalent in flavored varieties. Fresh fruit, nuts, and a small amount of honey or maple syrup added at home provide sweetness with more nutritional value and less sugar than pre-flavored commercial options. Kefir is produced through the fermentation of milk using kefir grains, a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast that creates a broader diversity of probiotic strains than conventional yogurt fermentation. This strain diversity is one of kefir's distinguishing advantages. A single glass exposes the gut microbiome to a wider range of beneficial organisms than most other single fermented foods can provide. Some brands also produce kefir shots in smaller concentrated volumes, which make it easier to incorporate the strain diversity of kefir into a daily routine without consuming a full glass. Kefir can be consumed on its own, blended into smoothies with fiber-rich fruits and leafy greens, or used as a liquid base in grain bowls and dressings. Cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is a fermented dairy product that has gained considerable attention in recent years for its exceptionally high protein content, typically around 25 grams per cup, alongside its probiotic cultures. It functions flexibly across both sweet and savory preparations, which makes daily incorporation considerably easier than for foods with a narrower flavor profile. Sweet preparations might include fresh berries, granola, and a drizzle of honey. Savory preparations work well alongside roasted vegetables, fried or poached eggs, or spread on whole grain toast as an alternative to ricotta. Cottage cheese can also be blended into pancake batter in place of milk or yogurt, where it contributes protein and creaminess without altering flavor significantly. Miso. Miso is a fermented paste made most commonly from soybeans, salt, and a mold culture called koji, though versions made from barley, rice, and other legumes also exist. The length of fermentation determines the flavor intensity and color. White miso ferments for a shorter period and produces a sweeter, milder flavor, while red miso ferments longer and delivers a deeper, more pungent umami profile. Because miso is concentrated, even a small amount delivers a meaningful probiotic contribution. One important consideration is heat. Boiling miso kills its live cultures, so it is best added to soups and sauces after cooking is complete, stirred in at the end to preserve the bacteria. Whisked into salad dressings, stirred into marinades, or used as a glaze for fish and meat, miso adds both probiotic benefit and significant depth of flavor in small quantities. Kimchi. Kimchi is a Korean fermented vegetable preparation most commonly made with napa cabbage and daikon radish, seasoned with garlic, ginger, and gochugaru chili flakes. Its fermentation produces a complex, spicy, tangy flavor profile along with a substantial diversity of lactobacillus bacterial strains. Beyond its probiotic content, kimchi provides the nutritional benefits of the vegetables themselves, including fiber, vitamins C and K, and the anti-inflammatory compounds found in cruciferous vegetables and alliums. This combination of probiotic bacteria and prebiotic fiber from the vegetables makes kimchi particularly effective for gut microbiome support, since the fiber feeds the bacteria that the fermentation introduces. Kimchi works as a condiment alongside eggs, rice bowls, sandwiches, and grilled proteins, or as a standalone side dish. Sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is produced through the lacto-fermentation of shredded cabbage with salt, a process that requires no additional starter culture, because the beneficial bacteria naturally present on cabbage begin fermentation when submerged in the brine created by salting. The result is a crunchy, sour fermented vegetable with a milder and more approachable flavor than kimchi, making it a useful entry point for people newer to fermented foods. Like kimchi, sauerkraut provides both probiotic bacteria and the prebiotic fiber of cabbage. A critical purchasing distinction applies here as well. Commercially produced shelf-stable sauerkraut is typically pasteurized, killing its live cultures. Genuine probiotic benefit requires refrigerated raw sauerkraut, which will indicate live cultures on its label. Tempeh. Tempeh is produced by fermenting whole soybeans with a mold culture that binds them into a dense, firm cake with a slightly nutty, earthy flavor. Unlike tofu, which is produced from soy milk, tempeh uses whole soybeans, meaning it retains the full fiber content of the bean along with its fermentation-derived probiotics. The fermentation process also reduces the phytic acid naturally present in soybeans, which improves the bioavailability of minerals like iron, zinc, and calcium that phytic acid would otherwise partially bind. Tempeh's firm texture makes it versatile for cooking. It can be sliced and pan-fried, crumbled into grain dishes, marinated and grilled, or used as a protein substitute in recipes that call for ground meat. It absorbs marinades effectively and develops a satisfying crust when cooked at high heat. Fermented pickles. Genuine fermented pickles are made through lacto-fermentation in a saltwater brine rather than through vinegar preservation, which is how most commercially shelf-stable pickles are produced. The distinction matters because vinegar pickling does not create or preserve live bacterial cultures the way lacto-fermentation does. Fermented pickles will be found in the refrigerated section of grocery stores, not on the shelf alongside conventional pickled products, and will typically indicate live cultures or raw on their labeling. In addition to their probiotic content, fermented pickles provide electrolytes from their brine and are low in calories, making them a practical everyday snack or condiment for people building fermented food habits. The broader principle across all 8 of these options is that dietary diversity amplifies the benefit. Different fermented foods introduce different bacterial strains, and the gut microbiome responds to that variety by becoming more diverse itself, which research consistently associates with better metabolic health, stronger immune function, and reduced chronic disease risk. Rotating through multiple options throughout the week produces more robust microbiome support than relying heavily on any single fermented food, however beneficial that individual food may be.